students, myself Miss Rachna Jain, Associate Professor, Department of English, Government PG College, Rajgarh, Alwar. Today in this video lecture, I am going to teach you a detailed summary of the play The Merchant of Venice, which is in the syllabus of BA Part 1st, English Literature, Paper 1st, Unit B. The outline story of the play The Merchant of Venice is Antonio, a great merchant of Venice, takes a loan from a Jew named Shylock to help his friend to court for Portia, the heroine of the play, and a lady of Belmont. Antonio can't repay the loan, and without mercy, Shylock demands a pound of his flesh. The heiress Portia, now the wife of Antonio's friend Bassanio, dresses as a lawyer and saves Antonio's life. This play is divided into 5 acts. In the first act, Antonio is very sad. Neither he nor his friends are able to know the cause of his sadness. His friends have different opinions about it, but they are trying their best to make him happy and cheerful. Then Bassanio comes and lets him know his plan to marry Portia, a rich and learned lady of Belmont. Bassanio needs a large sum of money to woo his beloved Portia. All his rivals are rich, so for this purpose, Bassanio once again requests Antonio to help him with money, but this time Antonio is himself in financial trouble because his entire capital is invested in foreign business. But he does not disappoint Bassanio and assures him of monetary help by taking loan on his credit. Both of them go out to get loan. Now Portia in Belmont is in a great confusion how to meet her choice. Portia and her maid Nerissa discuss the suitors who have come in response to Portia's father's strange will. The will says Portia may only marry a man who chooses the correct casket made from 3 possible options: gold, silver, and lead. Much to Portia's distress, all her suitors are unsatisfactory. However, she does fondly remember a time when Bassanio came to Belmont, and that leaves her with some hope. Her dead father had restricted her marriage to a lottery of the casket. The condition was that only he who finds the right casket will be able to marry her. Portia likes Bassanio above all the suitors that are desirous of marrying her, but she is bound by the will of her dead father. Bassanio proposes Shylock for the loan of 3,000 ducats for 3 months. With a slight unwillingness, Shylock agrees to the proposal on the credit of Antonio. He says that he can pay the desired sum only when Antonio signs the bond. The bond has very hard term to be fulfilled. It is prescribed therein that if Antonio fails to repay the sum lent in due time, a pound of flesh will be cut off from any part of his body as liked by Shylock. Antonio becomes ready to sign the bond with the hope that his ships will return before the fixed date and he can pay the loan. Then the matter is decided finally. In the act second, the Prince of Morocco makes his presence at the house of Portia and informs her about his proposal for the marriage. Portia tells him very clearly that she is bound by the will of her father. She adds that her marriage will take place according to the lottery of the casket. Only the right choice of casket will finalize her marriage. Thereupon, the choice of the Prince of Morocco is postponed till the end of dinner. Lancelot is retired. Lancelot is tired of the service under the control of Shylock. He wants to serve the new master Bassanio. He happens to meet his father Gobbo and asks him to plead his case with Bassanio, who is giving new dresses to his servants. Gobbo requests Bassanio to accept the service of his son Lancelot, and his request finds favor with him. Bassanio orders Leonardo to take Sharp as it is getting late for the feast. He is arranging to give the feast to his friends on the eve of his departure for Belmont. His friend Gratiano desires to accompany Bassanio to Belmont and wins his favor in this connection. The condition is that he will show good manners. Jessica is very sad to know that Lancelot is taking love of her. She bids farewell to him with a heavy heart, for she feels herself in a happy company with him. She is fed up with the way of living her father has. She likes Lorenzo and wants to be converted into Christian religion by marrying him. She therefore gives a letter to Lancelot for Lorenzo. Lorenzo is the friend of Antonio. He is making preparation to go to the house of Shylock with his friends. They think of going there disguising themselves as maskers. In the meantime, Lancelot hands Jessica's letter to Lorenzo, and the latter comes to know whose hand has written the letter. He lets Gratiano know the contents of the letter. He further calls him that Jessica is ready to elope with under the disguise of a page. She shall be his torch bearer. Lancelot informs Shylock that he is invited by Bassanio to the feast and the mask. Shylock is unwilling to go, but for the fear that there is something wrong behind the scene, somehow he becomes ready to attend the feast, shows his hatred against the extravagant Bassanio. He leaves keys, locks, and barrels under the charge of his daughter Jessica. He warns her not to open the door and assures of his return before long. Lorenzo and his friends reach the house of Shylock and succeed in their plan of Jessica's elopement as page. She brings a lot of wealth with her. Antonio takes Gratiano to task for his delay in the mask. For 3 caskets are shown to the Prince of Morocco in Belmont, and he is asked to make his choice. The prince exerts all his discretion to find the right casket. Attracted by the outward radiance uh, of the gold casket, he makes it his choice and thus fails. He then takes a formal leave of Portia. Shylock is deeply grieved at the heart to know that his daughter eloped with a Christian. His anger knew no bounds when he finds that he is robbed of a lot of ducats. Antonio is appreciated by Selenio and Celerio that they are sad to hear of the wreckage shipwreck in the sea. In the Act 3rd, Prince of Aragon also comes to make his choice of the casket, and takes the oath to be fair enough after the selection. He chooses the silver casket and thus fails to find the right one, which contains the portrait of Portia. He also goes disappointed, and then comes Bassanio, the sweetheart of Portia. Shylock is trying his best to forget the elopement of Jessica. He wants to give vent to his grief in the revenge against Antonio. He is glad at heart to know the wreckage of Antonio's ship, for it is an opportunity for his revenge. He is bent upon taking revenge against Antonio if he forfeits the bond. He orders Tubal to engage a bailiff for him so he could exact the bond on the date. Then comes the turn of Bassanio of choose the casket in Belmont. His choosing is followed by sweet music. Good fortune favors Bassanio and he prefers the lead casket to the other two. He thus succeeds in choosing the right casket. In return, Portia offers herself and what is hers to Bassanio. She also presents a ring to him as her love token never to be lost. Bassanio assures her of its preference and preservation till his life long. The marriage of Nerissa with Gratiano also takes place side by side. She also presents a ring to him. After this, the information of the total wreckage of Antonio's ships is furnished to Bassanio. Thereupon, Bassanio takes this news to his heart as a bolt from the sky. But Portia encourages him by giving a sum 20 times more than amount of the bond. Then their marriage is solemnized before the departure of Bassanio. Antonio in Venice is brought before Shylock. Antonio prays to Shylock for showing mercy upon him, but the Shylock is determined to get the bond executed through law. So Antonio's begging falls flat on him and he is brought back to the jail. Lorenzo appreciates Porcia's act of kindness for the help of Antonio, for in doing so she is deprived of the company of her newly wedded husband, and this is an act worth praising. But Portia says to him that this is not enough. She gives the whole charge of the house to Lorenzo and Jessica. She sends Balthar to her cousin Valerio for his garments. After this, she starts for Venice with Nerissa under the disguise to save her husband's friend Antonio. In Act 4, in the court of Duke, Antonio makes his presence. The Duke feels pity on him, but he is unable to help him anymore, for Shylock shows relentless action. He wants him in the bond by law and nothing else. The Duke summons him in the court and tries to persuade him not to execute the bond exactly, but all is in vain. Bassanio says to Shylock that he can pay the bond 3 times more than the amount therein, but his effort turns out useless because Shylock is bent upon revenge. There is no going back. He wants only a pound of flesh from the body of Antonio. The Duke dismisses the court till Dr. Valerio comes to help him in dealing out the fair justice. Meanwhile enters Jessica under the disguise of a clerk and informs the Duke about the illness of Valerio. She reads out the letter of the Duke, which authorizes a young doctor to plead the case in his place. Then Portia, under the disguise of a new doctor, is welcomed in the court. At first, he tries to persuade Shylock to show mercy on Antonio, but is vain. Then he takes the other side of the plea. She tells Shylock that his bond points out only a pound of flesh and nothing else. There is no mention about a single drop of blood, so he could cut the flesh from Antonio's heart without bleeding. She further tells the weight of the flesh should be neither less nor more by a hair than the bond inscribes. This argument makes Shylock confused. Now he wants to take money. Instead, Portia insists on the execution of the bond and thus turns tables on Shylock consequently. Shylock has to pay the penalty. One half of his property goes to Antonio and the other half is confiscated to the state. Antonio minimizes the attention of Shylock by saying that he is holding the half of his property in trust to be given to Lorenzo and Jessica after the death of Shylock. Thus Shylock pays the price for his cruel action and both Antonio and Bassanio go home safe and sound. Portia takes the ring from Bassanio as her reward of labor. Bassanio is bound by promise not to lose the ring throughout his life. Nerissa also takes the ring from Gratiano at Belmont. Jessica and Lorenzo are enjoying in their enjoyment. They are informed about the arrival of the mistress of the house as well as the arrival of Bassanio before morning. In Act 5th, Portia and Nerissa reach Belmont and ask Lorenzo if their husbands has arrived. Lorenzo says that they will arrive soon. Then Portia asks her servant not to reveal their absence from the house. In no time after this, Bassanio and Antonio and others enter the house of Portia. They are all welcomed there. Then a quarrel ensues over the rings, complaining the motto, "Love me and leave me not." But it is a case before long when Bassanio promises once more not to break an oath sworn to Portia. This is supported by the surety of Antonio. When their husbands arrive, Portia and Nerissa scold them for giving away their rings, pretending they had been given away to other women. Before long, they reveal themselves as the lawyers from the trial. Antonio receives news that his ships have returned safely after all, and the play ends as three couples prepare to celebrate their marriages. Thus, this is how the play ends happily and joyfully. So, students, I have given you the complete detailed story of the play The Merchant of Venice. In the next video lecture, I will discuss with you the main characters of this play, such as Antonio, Bassanio, Portia, Shylock, Nerissa, Lorenzo, Jessica, Gratiano, etc. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.